Right, so this drawing of a digital cat sold for $172,000. And this piece, sold by a digital artist called Beeple, sold for a whopping $69 million, which puts him among the top 3 most valuable artists. Before this, the most he'd ever made from a digital piece of work was $100. And this is all thanks to something called Non-Fungible Tokens, or NFTs for short. Now, unless you've been living under a rock for the past couple of years, we've probably all heard about NFTs. But what you may not be quite so sure about is why would anyone bother spending so much money on a tweet that anyone can freely access on Twitter, or an original Banksy drawing being burned on a live stream? Like, why bother spending so much money on all of these different things when we can all just access this content for free anyway? It all just seems so confusing and a bit of a joke, so I decided to do some research to find out what all the hype is about. So let's start with the basics. What are non-fungible tokens, or NFTs? Right, I think that the easiest way for us to answer this question is for us to break down this concept of non-fungible tokens into 2 components. The first being this idea of fungibility, and the second aspect being the token part. So first, fungibility. So when we say that something is fungible, all we're really saying is that we can swap that thing for some other thing of equal value. So let's say that we have a £20 note, for instance. If I were to give that to you in exchange for 2 £10 notes, I'm not going to think, oh God, like, I've lost out here. What are you doing? Because at the end of the day, £20 is exactly the same value as 2 £10 notes. In other words, currencies, like the British pound sterling, is fungible. But when we say something is non-fungible, that means it is totally unique and cannot be swapped for something else of equal value. Like, if I had the original Mona Lisa, I'm not just going to stumble across someone else with another original Mona Lisa that I can swap that painting with. So, in other words, if you have the Mona Lisa, it's totally unique and it's non-fungible. And literally everything is either fungible or non-fungible. Like, a banana is fungible, this t-shirt is fungible, but this video is non-fungible because it's totally unique and cannot be swapped for some other random ass video on YouTube, however much you may think it can be. And when things are non-fungible, because they are 100% unique, they are significantly more valuable than fungible things. Now, I think that pretty much wraps up the whole fungibility side of things. But let's now talk about tokens, and this is where things get a little bit more tricky. It's pretty common for people to think that cryptocurrencies and tokens are the same thing, and I make that mistake all the time. But the truth is that these are 2 different types of digital asset. And the biggest difference between cryptocurrencies and tokens are that cryptocurrencies are built on their own blockchains and tokens are built on existing blockchains. So if you pay someone with Ethereum, a cryptocurrency, the receipt goes to the Ethereum blockchain. In other words, whenever we make an Ethereum payment, that payment is recorded on a transparent digital public ledger called the Ethereum blockchain, which is this super secure and transparent way of exchanging money without some sort of middleman, like a bank basically, that can sort of get in the way of those transactions. So yeah, that's sort of the really simple way of explaining how that process works. But unlike cryptocurrencies, tokens don't have their own blockchains. Instead, they need to rely on other existing blockchains, like the Ethereum blockchain, or Solana's blockchain, or the Polygon blockchain, for example. So really, in short then, an NFT can be summed up as a token that represents a unique thing like art or pretty much anything that can be exchanged across and using an existing blockchain. Now, don't worry if you can't wrap your head around all of that, because it's not going to stop you from appreciating all the different applications and benefits of NFTs, which we're going to take a look at now. NFTs can be a financial investment, a sentimental purchase, a collectible item, or even just a way for the buyer to connect with the NFT creator, like an artist or a brand. I guess it's very similar to the way that people nowadays buy Pokemon cards or, I don't know, trainers, for instance. For example, instead of buying 100 shares in Coca-Cola, I could instead buy and hold an NFT for some time with the expectation that the price of that NFT will rise. There's also potential for NFTs in the world of gaming, like our digital avatar in a game could be an NFT, or things that we stumble across as we play the game can be NFTs, and then we can swap and trade these items for profit. With the increased hype of things like the metaverse, which is literally just this place where you can work and play as a digital avatar, there is increased movement towards creating and selling these different NFTs. So I highly recommend you checking out games like Axie Infinity, CryptoKitties, and Crypto Blades if you want to see how NFTs work in the gaming space. To be honest, NFTs can be used for pretty much anything. Like, owning an NFT could give you access to a Discord server, or to an exclusive recording of a podcast, or to some in-person event. Like, I don't know, take Gary Vaynerchuk's VFriends community, for example. If you own one of the VFriend NFTs, that basically gives you access to a private VFriends community and also VCon, which is this 4-day in-person event. But NFTs don't just benefit the people who buy and own the NFTs, they also massively benefit the people who created the NFTs in the first place. Right, so the most obvious benefit to the creators of an NFT is through the money that they'll receive through the initial sale of that NFT. So, you know, in the same way that I could make money through this drawing of a penguin. Well, I'm not too sure about that, but the real magic comes through when you bake ownership into the NFT itself. When you bake ownership into the digital content itself, like into the artwork that you're selling, every time that NFT or that token is subsequently sold on, the original creator will receive some percentage of that sale in royalties. And this can never be changed because the original owner's cryptocurrency address is embedded into the NFT itself. So, and because the blockchain is super secure and can't be changed, this will inevitably keep going forever and forever and forever, regardless of how many times that token is subsequently sold on. Let's take Pokemon cards, for example. Now, back in 1999, when I was a kid, I could buy a pack of Pokemon cards for about $2.99. And let's say, you know, back then I decided that I was going to buy a booster box of 36 Pokemon cards, and I could have got that for $107. And so in that transaction, the original creator of those Pokemon cards, Wizards of the Coast, would have received that $107. But over time, as more and more people have sort of opened up their first edition packs of Pokemon cards, the sealed version, like the sealed booster box of Pokemon cards, has become less and less fungible. So the value of that box has significantly increased. So let's assume that I then decide in 2004 that I'm going to sell my box of Pokemon cards to you for $500. I will receive $500 from that transaction, and Wizards of the Coast, the original creator, will receive nothing. Then let's say that you decide to hold on to those Pokemon cards for a further 17 years and then sell those cards at auction for over $400,000. Through that transaction, you will receive $400,000, but the original creator again will receive nothing. But if Wizards of the Coast had baked ownership into the Pokemon cards at, let's say, like 2%, then they would have made $107 through the original sale, they would have made about $10 when I sold the box to you for $500, and they would have made about $8,000 when you eventually sold the box at auction in 2022. It's pretty powerful stuff, and it can be really quite game-changing for the original creator. Like, if I sold my very original drawing of a penguin to the Pope for £10, and later my channel grew to 100 million subscribers, if the Pope is feeling super opportunistic, he could then sell my artwork for tens of thousands of pounds, and I'd receive nothing. Sure, you could say that I sold my drawing of a penguin way too early and it's just my bad luck, but if I had decided to bake ownership into that drawing of a penguin, I could profit from all future sales of that drawing in the expectation that my channel is just going to grow and grow and grow. Now, I'm not going to do this right now, but I am very much interested in seeing how well I'll do at trying to create or mint my own NFTs and seeing how well they'd sell. But that's going to be a topic for a later video. I really hope you enjoyed this one, and hopefully I'll see you soon.